Ronald Patton. I'm with the Lake County Sheriff's Office, and I'm going to talk to you today about the Miranda warnings and the myth that surrounds the Miranda warnings, which you just heard from Sergeant Meissner. A few classes ago, I did a poll, and I asked people, when does the police officer need to read you your Miranda warnings that you just heard? And everybody that I spoke to, 100% of them said at the time of the arrest. And as I'm going to show you here, that's a myth. There is a myth that Miranda warnings are needed during every arrest, but not being read your Miranda warnings might not violate your constitutional rights, as she just explained to you. There are a few exceptions, and I'm going to explain to those exceptions. There's an exceptions to every rule, and as you'll see, there's exceptions to the exceptions that I'll show you here in a second. Okay? And as Sergeant Meissner pointed out too, there's two things that need to take place when Miranda needs to be present. And those two things are custody and interrogation. Now, with that in mind, I'm going to show you some of the exceptions. The first exception is excited or spontaneous utterance. That is when we walk up to a scene and I see Josie over here standing over the body of David, and there's a knife sticking out of his chest, and she goes, I stabbed him. I don't know what came over me. I think he tripped and fell on the knife 136 times. But he's dead. I can use that against her. Now, what's the reason I can use that? She's not in custody and I'm not interrogating her. It's a spontaneous or an excited utterance. She spoke it. That's what utterance means. She spoke it. And I can take that. It's basically hearsay. And the courts have a rule on this. I don't know if you can see it down here, New York versus Coral, and I'll explain to them what they said. An excited utterance hearsay statement is defined as an out-of-court statement that relates to startling event or condition made while the defendant was under the stress of excitement. So, when I walk up to her, I'm not asking her the question about what happened here, or did you shoot him, or did you stab him? She gave it to me automatically. Another exception, and again, remember there's exceptions to the exception, is called public safety. Now, what that calls for is that when the safety of the public is in danger, that far outweighs any Miranda or the Constitution at this point. An example of that is, go to a grocery store shooting. A distraught husband comes in, got his wife in there, he shoots her. Kills her, shoots her full of bullets. I come pulling up, I got him in custody, he comes out, he does a spontaneous utterance. Oh, I just shot my wife, you know, I'm tired of that lying lady, and I shot her. So you put the cuffs on her, you stick him in the back of the car, you stick him in the back of the car. I'm sorry, Josie, I still got you under arrest. Stick him in the back of the car, and now it goes, oh wait, there's a gun. Sir, where's the gun at? Now, I have not read him his Miranda, now he's in custody. And I'm going to arrest him. So the exception to this is, there's a gun somewhere in that store where the public is. That danger is more important than Miranda at that point. So anything that he tells me about the gun, where it's at, where I put it, what kind of gun it is, knife, or any other evidence like that, we can use that against him. Again, it's hearsay that I'm able to testify to. The other one is a jailhouse informant. Jailhouse informants could be anybody. It could be undercover cop, person's already in arrest. Again, there he is, there's the custody. And he's probably already been interrogated. So they're in jail, and I, as an undercover cop, go in there and interview the person. Now, he doesn't know I'm an undercover cop, but I'm in there talking to him, and he gives me the information. I'm allowed to do that. There's a certain time span that I can do that, but I'm allowed to go in there and take that information. The other one is if we use a confidential informant. It's like a CI or another inmate. We take him, put the wire on him, send him in there, and he talks to the guy. And the information we get from that, we can use. Again, he's in custody. He's probably already been interrogated, but that's hearsay information that we can take and use against him. The last one is from friends and family. I don't know if you remember the Casey Anthony, all the phone calls that she made. All that stuff is evidence that we could use against her. Any letters, any phone calls, things like that, we're able to use that against them. So those are things that he's in custody, and we're allowed to use it. Those are exceptions to the Miranda. We don't have to tell him, hey, you're under Miranda, you can't speak to anybody in the jail. The other one is general questions. That's the basics. what's your name, date of birth, those types of things. Or I pull up with Josie standing over David with the knife sticking out of him, and what's going on here? Well, hopefully Josie will give me a spontaneous answer, and I can use that against her. And if she blurts out the confession, even better. So those are some of the things, those are exceptions as far as those goes. The last one is, it's not really, it's not a court case that wraps that up, but as if I witnessed a case. I go to a bar fight, there's two guys fighting, I pull up there, I see them punching one another, I arrest both of them for battery and affray. I don't have to ask Miranda or tell them Miranda. It's just simple as that. I witness it, I'm the best witness there is. So those are the exceptions. And in conclusion, the myth that you need to be read Miranda warning every time you're arrested is just that, a myth. Just because you're being arrested and you're not informed of your Miranda rights does not mean your statements will be used against you